Here, we are good. Okay, now let me pull up LinkedIn and see where people are at. Go to my profile here. Have to snooze. Oh, good. I get to snooze that. All right, post. Yes, here I am live. Okay, good. Just want to make sure that everything is going well. Let me click on the live here. All right, and if you're coming in, feel free to comment. It's a little something here. Let people know that I am currently live. And also turn the volume down. Make sure that I'm not feeding back into any area. And now let's go back to Facebook. Okay, let's go back here because I was, but for some reason it was, I had to end it. All right, so let's go ahead and delete this. Moving that to trash. And now, well, that's one of the things. Hey, Bless Betty. Hey, Broadmax. Thank you so much for stopping in. And so this is one of the valuable lessons that you learn is that when you are going live, you want to be sure that you are testing out your camera beforehand. So, but it's okay. This is what it is. This is Ask About It Thursday with Coach Trev. Today is the 16th, and I tell people to ask about accountability. Hey, Tobles, thank you so much for stopping. Goal setting, mindset, etc. So I'll save that, make sure I do that, and we click on, we're going live there. So great. So we're live here. Let me check. All right, so I've got IG, I've got YT, got LI, and that's right. So be sure when you're coming in, tune in, let me know where you are coming from. And so this is just, there's no script here. This is just a live Q&A. For anyone that has any questions about accountability, about goal setting, any about business development, business expansion. All right, and so we're doing good here. I'm going to just put on just a little bit of music, nothing too crazy. Let's see here. All right, so tune in if you're coming in. Let's do a line. All right. So I've sent this out and shared. Let me just check on all platforms. This is an open session where it's live Q&A. So let me be sure to invite some people in. Hold on. And if you're coming in, be sure that you put a comment in where you're coming in. If you have any questions, please put a comment in there. All right. So I'm currently sharing with some people right now. So I want to be sure that those that are here get the opportunity and they know. Also, feel free to turn on notifications, let you know that I'm live. If you're not following me already, be sure that you go to my profile, click on that button so that you get notified anytime I'm following. So this is an opportunity to really get some questions answered, whether it's about business, whether it's about your current position. I've spent over 20 years in the corporate world. I've been coaching for over 20 years. So I have went into a wide variety of people. I want to speak from my experience. And this is a good session where you can really ask about accountability, ask about any of the videos that I put up recently, time management and strategy management. Now, if you wanted to do a one-on-one session, I'm available for that. All you have to do is you can put the word strategy in the comment or go to Talk with Trevor. trev.com. And there you can book a session with me. All right. That reminds me, I'm going to need to. Well, you know what? I'll handle that later. I will handle that. So we're live on a few of these. So right now, live on IG, YT, LI, FB, Hey, how you doing, Money 2X? Hope everything is well with you. And so this is a lot, just a live Q&A. If you have any questions about accountability, goal setting, business, whether your goals are personal, professional, anything along those lines, wellness, you can ask questions about that. Hey, Jenny keeps up. Hope everything is well with you. So earlier today, I put out a video regarding all the learnings that people receive. Ooh, my light went out. Hold on just for a second. People. All right. Just want to make sure that everything is copacetic there. So, so let's check on here and see any questions here on link. Any questions here on IG? Any questions here on? Uh, so it's kind of it's quiet over there. See? All right. So we're just checking in. So yes, I put out a video today about applying a portion of what you learn. So the one thing that we can all agree on is your being requested. Your attention span is a currency. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that there are a lot of people that are buying for your eyeballs, platforms, things along those lines. And so as you're progressing, let me close that out. So a phone call. You don't have to leave a voicemail. Oh, there isn't one. So here's the challenge: is that when it comes to all the world that's out there, a lot of people are online, social media, on various platforms. You have 900 million users here. You have half a billion that's over there, and so all of this is vying for your attention. And when you have that, you have to be very discerning with your time. You have to see what are the things that are going to build me up, and what are the things that's going to tear me down, drag me away from my goals. So you have to really curate what you see, what you allow in your space, what you give access to. Because understand this, one of the things I learned from my coach today is that yes, certain things, if people think knowledge is power and information is power. Really, take action. That's power. That's real king power. So that's a good thing. Hey, Shalom, hey, Money to Ads. That's one of the key things. So you've got to manage your power because there's power in your attention. Your attention is a currency. All right. I'm just checking on any platforms to see if any questions, any comments. As I said, if you're coming in, be sure that you are commenting and saying hello, where you're from, and also what are the things that if you have a question. And so your attention is a currency. So there are people vying for your attention. Hey Jane, and so you've got to be really mindful and intentional with what you are doing when it comes to that. Who you're allowing within your space, who are you allowing to take up your space, to take up your time. Your attention is currency, your time is value, all of those things. So when it comes to your goals, you have to be sure that you are bringing into your atmosphere the things that are in alignment with your goals, the things that are in alignment with your actions. That's one of the key things here. Because there are times where you will unintentionally come into agreement with something that's robbing you of time, robbing you of your attention, and robbing you of energy that you could be putting towards your vision, towards your goals, towards whatever it is whatever you are focusing on. So your goals could be health, it could be wellness, it could be about family, it could be social, it could be financial, any of those things. Now, the thing is, you've got to determine and see, does this need to be in your space? You want to be very protective about it because there are things that really want to poke in because they know that your attention is a currency and they want to use that currency in order to meet their goals. But you have specific goals for yourself. So you've got to say, what is it about my space? You need to curate. Are there distractions in my life? If there are, then you need to take a moment and say, what does not belong, and clear out the clutter. You've got to clear out that clutter in order for you to make progress and gain consistency as well as develop discipline. So I'm just going to pause for a moment and check out and see if there are any comments, if anyone has spoken anything there. All right, so we're good here. How you doing, Jamie and Shalom? Hey, Johnny, thank you for stopping in. All right, so now as you move forward with that, your focus is you're getting rid of your clutter. Now, clutter can be physical things. It could be things that are online. Now, it also it could be that you only have a certain amount of space. So anything else that you're putting on there, you can view as clutter. And the question is, what do you do with that clutter? Well, you can either throw it out so it's completely out of sight, so it's out of your space, it's out of your mind, it's something you don't pick up again. You can set an alarm and have it in a position where you'll pick it up later, or you'll pick that up. So, such as a course. Let's say you have studied a course, you have all this information. Applying 100% of it is overwhelming. That's what I found earlier today, is that a lot of times you can take a course and it's overwhelming. So what do you do? Hey, Maya and Johnny, what do? You take the time and you can say, let me take 10% of what I've learned and let's apply that consistently over time. The rest is clutter. So that clutter is not something you're going to throw out. That's something that's not going to fit on your plate. It's just not, it's going to fit on your plate. So you want to be able to put that aside and set a timetable for when you want to add that, because you want to really master that 10% before you add to that. That's key. Now, other things that are clutter, it could be distractions, it's courses, it's people, it's notifications, especially on your phone and on your computer, whatever device you're using to work on. Sometimes there are notifications that become clutter to your mental space, clutter to your eye space, your ear space. So you've got to determine what to do with that clutter. For certain notifications, there are times where you can research. You can research them. There's a tool where you can quiet them for a specified period of time. That way, they're not coming across your eye. Hey, Julio, hey, John. They're not coming across your eye gate. So that's an important thing to know, is that when those notifications come, you can silence them for a period of time, for an hour, 2 hours, thing along those lines. How about this for your phone? Many people will only use this when they're traveling, but you have an option on your phone called airplane mode. Now, that airplane mode can be used for a period of time. You can set an alarm and say, you want this airplane mode to be on for 2 hours, 3 hours, and then you want to be able to take it off. That's going to silence any notifications there. So that's one way of how you can utilize something that's called, even though it's called airplane mode, it's for your benefit. It removes the clutter. Okay? So that's an option as well. Hey, Maya. Hey, True Game. Thank you so much for stopping in. Leo, thank you for stopping in. That's important. So so now that you have one tool, which is for your notifications, another one is silencing them. You can determine and prioritize your notifications and say if this shows up on your screen or if it shows up later where the only time you would see it is if you search for it. So you want to prioritize what comes into your eye space. Because really, as I said, attention is currency. Your time is valuable. There are a lot of things that are vying for your attention. You want to be sure that your time and your energy is put towards making an impact for your goals. Right? Any questions so far? If this is landing for you, put a yes in the chat. Put a yes in the comment. All right. Let me just check the platforms here. Quiet there. Quiet there. All right. Let's check here. All right. All right. So we're doing good. Doing well. How are you? Thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate it, 3-5. And so As you now make a determination on what notifications have priority, you also want to be sure to say what's in your physical space that is a distraction. Do you have some headphones? Do you have a pile of books or a pile of mail you can get to? Do you have an uncompleted project, something maybe you could be putting together? It could be some furniture. Maybe you're looking around and saying you've got a rag where you want to wipe down something. See, when those things are in your eye space, they become a distraction because your energy can now be diverted in multiple places. Regardless of what people are saying, multitasking is not a good thing. There are studies that have shown that really multitasking doesn't do anything, but it divides your attention and it actually gives less. Um, each item they're showing on, it reduces your level of productivity because you're dividing your time. So you're not focusing on multitasking. What you're doing is you're clearing the clutter from your attention space so that you can use it. You can use it effectively. Now understand this. As I said, attention is currency, and your time is valuable. So when it comes to your goals, you want to be sure that you're spending it wisely, and as well that you're investing it so that it multiplies down the line. It's not short term, but we're thinking long term here. So let me pause for a moment, check the platforms to see if there are any questions and comments. And this is, and you're able to react real time. Let me know what lands. If you have questions on, it might be something. Hey Tanya, what you agree with, what you disagree with, any of those things. For those that are on PT here, come through. Be sure that you're able to share out the live for daily heartbeat, all those things here. So be sure that you're doing that. And also share out the live. I'll be going live tomorrow as well at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please come with your questions about accountability, about goal setting, about mindset, about success, how to get unstuck, how to build confidence. What are the steps you can take in order to gain back some peace, some balance, some stability, fulfillment. Just some of those. Excuse me. Those are a few of the things that you can do. All right. So, and as I said, if you're interested in a one-on-one or free strategy session, feel free to either comment the word strategy or just go directly to talk with Trevor. And once you go there, you're able to schedule it. Now, this is a one-on-one session with me. We will talk about we'll talk about some challenges you have with your goals, some of your pain points. You'll come away with a working plan with that. Now, if you want to work with me beyond that, that's something we can discuss. But this is a free session, no stress, no slides, no massive sales pitch. This is you and I brainstorming on ways for you to achieve your goals. Your goals could be about business, maybe it's about wellness, self improvement, any of those things. So you just want to come prepared. Know that in those strategy sessions, I'm going to ask you some questions so that we can drill down and get granular when it comes to your goals. As an accountability coach myself, that's what I do with my clients. I work with them, drill them down in the first month so we become granular with your goals. You make sure that they understand their why they're attempting to achieve this goal, how it how it aligns with their vision and their mission, and moving forward. So that's going to be a key thing. So we would do that just in a shorter session here. So as I said, if you want interested in a free strategy session, just either comment the word strategy or go to talkwithcover.com, and then that's where you can book it yourself. Okay. Let me just check to see if there are any comments or questions. See if we're all quiet on the front. Oh, found somebody here. Let me just comment. Good to see you. Hey, Abby. Hey, Shawnee. Thank you so much. So, as I said, one of the key things is when it comes to your goals, you want to be sure and understand that your attention is a currency and your time is valuable. So, you want to be sure that you are moving all clutter, all things out of the way that may be a distraction for you. Okay? So, that's one of the key things. When I when I posted a video earlier today, it was about applying 10%. Now, there are courses that we take. and there's information that we receive. The one thing that we have now, we live in an age where there's an abundance of information. You ask one question, you get a dissertation. You get so much information. So, and sometimes when it comes to applying it, that's where the overwhelm comes in. Now, let's- now what that overwhelm does is it paralyzes you. One, it paralyzes you. It says, okay, you know what, if I can't apply it all, I'm going to stop right here because you're not sure what steps to take, so you put it aside. So it causes you to be stuck. All right. Two, when you try to apply 100% there, it causes you to procrastinate. That's right, because you're going to say, you know what, it's later on in the day, you start to look at time as a distraction. You say, I'm going to do this tomorrow when I'm fresh, when everything is just right. You're waiting for the perfect day in order to start. So that's the challenge when you learn something, you attempt to apply it 100%. That's not going to happen with you. So, one, you get stuck. Two, you procrastinate. Three, you start self-doubting. That means that you begin to look at yourself and you said, well, I took the time to learn all this. Can I really apply it? Say the word, I really apply what I've learned. And so you start to think of all the things that can happen. You start to think of, you missing out, you potentially um, not applying it just properly, that it's just all on you. Understand this, anyone that's successful with their goals, they had a team, they had support, they had someone with them that they could ask questions, that they could get feedback on. That's one of the key things. So that's what happens. So you've got one, when you try to apply the 100% of what you learn, as I said, one, there's that overwhelm. That overwhelm causes you to be stuck, it can cause you to procrastinate, and it can cause self-doubt. Okay, so those are the three things, and that puts you in a place of frustration. So how do you deal with that? Well, you have to look at your entire thing of everything you learn and break it down into pieces. Hey, Crystal, thanks for stopping. Break it down into pieces, right? And what you want to do is you want to say, let me take 10% of what I've learned and apply that consistently over a period of time. That period of time, 7 days, 14 days, etc. What you want to do is you want to develop the discipline of applying that to make sure that you can measure its impact and make proper adjustments. Once you apply that 10%, you reach a level of comfortability, then you can bring more in. The first thing you want to do is you want to start with the 10%. What does that do? One, it builds confidence. Yes, the fact that you're applying something, a bit of what you've learned, you build the confidence because now what you're doing, it's going to build that confidence because now you see the end in sight. Number two, it builds momentum. Momentum is a key thing. A lot of people will wait on and focus on motivation. Motivation is short term. Motivation is it's that one time shot. And when the feeling is over, done deal. You ever had those sugar highs? You had lunch and then you're feeling high and then you had all this food and boom, you hit the floor. That sugar drops and you are wondering where all that energy went to. Well, that's where it went. So motivation is just that one shot. All right. And so when it comes to that, you want to be sure that you are focusing on momentum. So now that you're applying the 10%, so one, you're building confidence. Two, you're building momentum. Three, you're building discipline. Okay. The fact that you're taking this 10%, you're applying it over a period of time, say 7 days, 14 days, you're now building discipline for the rest of the 90% that will eventually be at. Hey, Poppy. Hey, Carlos. Thank you so much for coming in. And so, um, hold on, my reminder for something else. So as an accountability coach, you have that. So that's one of the important things. Hey Scott, when you apply that 10%, that's going to build up your confidence, it's going to build momentum, and it's going to build discipline. That's one of the important things. That those are all key ingredients you need in order to achieve your goals. Okay? So let me know if this is landing for you. Does this make sense? Have success. So let me just check here. All right. All right. So we're good. So that's landing. That's good. So as I said, this is and now that you've applied the 10%, you're building up confidence, you're building up your momentum, you're building up discipline. More things come. I want more things come, and it's key. Now, a crucial thing too is that as you're applying that 10%, you want to be sure that you have an accountability coach, an accountability system, someone that's going to check in with you to be sure that that 10% is being applied effectively. So now I spoke about this before, but let me reiterate this. You cannot be your own accountability partner. Yes, I know as much as you want to say, well, I have this, everything is fine. No, you cannot be your own accountability partner. That does not work. Let me explain to you why. And I'll give you one of the key reasons why you cannot be your own accountability partner. Let's start with key reason number two. You are your own cushion. Like if you miss a deadline or something happens, you're going to give yourself grace. And the challenge is you're going to be soft on yourself. It's going to be a challenge. And you're going to always say, well, if this isn't done, you can always push things. You all can readjust, redo the script. You know, not many people are at that level where they can be an accountability partner for themselves. Really, anyone that's reached a particular level of success, they had outside help. Just like when people go to the gym, they want to get help, they hire a trainer, they have somebody on the outside. Why do they hire a trainer? They hire that person because one, they have experience. Two, they have the temperament because they have the temperament. And three, because they're able to see the whole picture. So that's one of the key things. It's something I spoke about before. That when it comes to your goals, you're already in the picture. You cannot be your own accountability person. You have to have someone that can see it. Just like if you're trying on a new outfit. If you do so, you're going to ask somebody how you look. The first thing they're going to say is turn around because they want to see the whole picture. You cannot do that. No matter how strong your neck is, you cannot see exactly behind you, without any type of tool or anything like that. Of course, people say, well, there's a mirror. Or if you got one mirror, then what happens? You got to turn around and look back, and hopefully you see anything. But you're going to ask somebody, what do you see? Because they can see the whole picture. That's what an accountability coach does. They see the entire picture. They're able to give you feedback so that you can feed forward. They're able to give you that feedback that's right so that you can feed forward. You get that insight, so now you know how to move effectively. All right? As I said, be sure to put your questions right into the comments, and I will be. So you cannot be your own accountability. You can put reminders in your phone to do something, but if you don't do it, who's going to hold you to task? Who's going to say this is holding you back? This is taking you longer. And the challenge is if you attempt to do that, then you can lose a lot of time with that. You can lose hours, days, months, even years by not refusing. You got to ask you, what is it really costing you not having an accountability coach in your corner when it comes to your goals, when it comes to applying that 10%? There's a lot of things that, so what you want to do is be sure that you connect with someone. Now, if you're interested in that, a free strategy session, or see what an accountability, what does it look like to enter into that type of system, then book a strategy session, a free strategy session with me. You can DM me the word strategy or comment the word strategy, or you can also go to talk with Trevor. So that way, that's the easiest way to get in contact, book a time, ask as many questions that you want, have it be a one-on-one session. We can give you the details. Many times it can be curated to fit your exact goals because really when it comes to it, you want to be sure that it's fitting you. All right? When it's if it's not fitting you, then you have to be sure to move on. But really, you want to be sure it's hitting all of your areas, touching on your pain points. That the person you're speaking to is it's almost like they know exactly what you need. They're speaking your language. That's one of the key things. They're making sure that you are a person that's going. They're making sure that you achieve your goals. They're pointing out your blind spots. They're pointing out areas that you can improve in. They're commending you on achieving particular goals, either within a time frame or exceeding that time frame, meaning that you've done it before that allotted time. So that's an important thing. So be sure when it comes to your goals, if your goals are really important, be sure to employ an accountability coach. All right. So I'm just going to pause there to see if you have any questions. All right. So we are quiet there, quiet there, quiet there. All right. So I have a couple things that are coming up. So as I said, if you're interested in finding out what's coming up next, be sure you are following me, turning on your notifications. Um, Due to scheduling, there's going to be a workshop that I'll be doing next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're interested in finding out more about that, just leave a comment here, or as I said, you can DM me your strategy, and I'll get in touch with you and tell you more information about that. Your best bet is really just connect with me for a strategy session. That way you can get all the information, anything that I have going on. So key thing here is the takeaways from our conversation is that when it comes to your learning and applying your information, whether it's from a course, whether it's from a lecture, whether it's from a class, whether you had a meeting with manager, director, and they want you to apply this, start with that 10%. 10% of that. Apply it over a period of time. Get feedback to be sure that you are managing and applying it effectively. When you think about the 100%, it can be overwhelming. It causes you to be stuck. It can cause you to be self-doubt and cause you to procrastinate, to push things off. And so applying the 10% over a period of time, helps you to build your confidence, helps you to build momentum, helps you to build discipline. All right? So that's one of the key things. Anything else that we have here? All right, let's see. Let's see what we have. See if anyone has any questions or comments. As I said, this is a live Q&A. I'll be here tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. Just take a sip of water here. All right. All right, so let's see what we have here. Just want to pause so that you can all take in everything that I've said so far. Okay. So, all right. All right. So we do have a comment here. Let me just check here. Interesting. Can I see that comment? Let's see if I can see the comment. David, thank you so much. For some reason, it wouldn't allow me to see that comment. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dave, for checking in. Let me know if you have any questions. As I said, if you are interested, that's the title. Didn't change the title, but it's all good. If you're interested in a one-on-one session, feel free to, as I said, message me the word strategy, or you can go with Talk with Trevor. Go to talkwithtrevor.com, and you can book a time there, get on my calendar. It's a instruction, as I said, it's not a sales pitch. This is free. There won't be anything there. This is just a matter of you and I speaking in a closed session. You'll come to me with your goals, any pain points that you have, and what we do is we brainstorm and you'll come out there with some practical steps as to how you can achieve, exceed your goals. One of the things is I will be asking some questions, so be wary of that when we have our free strategy session. And hey Ari, um, that's one of the key things there. And so be sure that you have you're prepared for that. And also, anytime we're in a session, I'm going to drill down because what I want to do is make sure that the steps that I'm suggesting to you, that I'm giving you, is going to really hit home and hit on any one of those pain points, any one of those areas. Because right now, if you do not have an accountability coach, there's a cost to it. It's costing you time, it's costing you energy, it's costing you money. Your money is worth, your time is worth something. As I said, your attention is a currency and your time is valuable. How are you spending it? How are you investing it? How close? How much more of an impact are you getting due to it? So that's the key thing. All right. So be sure. I'm just going to check in one more time to see if I have any questions over here. Any comments there? All right. All right. This is good. All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Every, everyone seems to be flowing. So if you don't have any questions now, as I said, if you think of any questions later, you can always message me. If you're having trouble messaging me, you can go to Talk with Trevor, get a session. What I'll do is I'll definitely be sure to follow up with you before our session, confirm our meeting, see what are the things that make sure that you're prepared, that you have all of all of the things that you need, any questions that you want to ask about accountability, about your specific goals, any of those things there. That's what counts is that. All right? So that's a key thing. Now, I'm going to be live tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure that you are tuning in. Be sure that if you're not following me now, be sure you turn on your notifications so that you'll be notified. I'll also put out a post reminding you. So this is something you want to put on your calendar. So I'll be live, as I said, tomorrow at 5 p.m. Next week is going to be a bit different. I'm not sure. I don't think I'll be going live on Monday because I'll be doing the Boston Marathon. For anyone that's been following my journey, I play drums for the Boston Marathon, and I've been preparing for that for the last 30 days. I'm giving myself certain goals, tracking various things that I've been doing and changes that I've made so that I am properly prepared for it. So Monday, that's going to be a busy day. I'll be recouping Monday, possibly Tuesday as well. So just be sure. But definitely Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I will be live. Monday, I'll be live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, if you want to meet before that, if you have a question that you want to address, that is on accountability, it's about mindset, it's about success, it's about setting the proper goals, finding out what that proper 10% is. It also may be about book publishing. I've helped people with that, help people with building confidence, becoming unstuck, dealing with relationships, whatever your goals are. And so that's what it comes down to. Be sure, as I said, book a strategy session. Message me the word strategy or go to talkwithtrevor.com and you can book a session right there, get right on my calendar. Okay? All right. So for right now, let's check in. So on for the folks there that are on LinkedIn and on Insta, thank you all so much. I'm going to exit from there. So I want to thank you. I appreciate it, and I'll see you all at 5 p.m. So those are the folks that are on LinkedIn and Insta. Let's go ahead and stop that. Bear with me. All right. Good, good. Okay. All right. For the people on YT, any questions, any comments? All right. So it looks like everything is set on there. So I want to thank you all for coming in, for taking the time to listen to this. And if you want to, if you have any questions about applying the 10%, anything, as I said, book a session with me, leave a comment. I'll be sure to follow up with you on that. So, um, so for the folks that are on YT, thank you so much.